Commander Voss floated weightlessly in the cramped observation deck of Outpost Echo. Beneath her, the icy expanse of Europa glowed like a cracked pearl against the infinite blackness of deep space. For 6 months, her routine had been a quiet meditation of calibrating orbital relays and listening to the endless, empty hum of the cosmos. It began as a faint whisper, barely distinguishable from the usual cosmic microwave background radiation. Commander Voss leaned closer to the primary monitor, her calm eyes reflecting the soft green glow of the telemetry data. Beneath the chaotic hiss of random stellar noise, an intricate, repeating pattern was burying itself into the station's deepest communication channels. She isolated the frequency, her heavily gloved fingers flying across the manual console. The random static dissolved instantly, replaced by a series of crisp, rhythmic auditory pulses. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. Prime numbers. It was the universal handshake of intelligent life, a deliberate and flawless mathematical sequence broadcast directly from the frozen, supposedly lifeless surface of the moon below. Heart pounding heavily against her ribs, Voss initiated the emergency response protocol. She routed the station's main transmitter to echo the sequence back down to the icy crust, deliberately adding the next prime number in the series, 13. Instantly, the relay station's overhead lighting flickered and dimmed, pulsing in perfect, terrifying synchronization with a massive return signal. The delicate outpost shuddered violently as a massive localized electromagnetic surge washed over the titanium hull. Warning klaxons remained eerily silent, completely overridden by an invisible external force systematically infiltrating the ship's mainframe. Navigation data corrupted into bizarre, flowing alien geometries on her screens. Something unimaginably powerful was reaching out through the void, gripping the station's systems. Voss pressed her helmeted face against the thick quartz viewport, peering down at the sprawling network of frozen ridges. Deep beneath Europa's miles-thick glacial shell, a colossal shadow was shifting. A faint, ethereal blue glow began to seep through the jagged fissures of the ice, illuminating the dark ocean hidden in the moon's freezing depths. The ice ruptured with a silent, magnificent violence, sending towering plumes of frozen vapor erupting into the cold vacuum of space. From the center of the shattered crater, a breathtaking bioluminescent craft ascended. It possessed no thrusters and no visible seams, just a smooth, obsidian-like teardrop that radiated a hypnotic, pulsating violet aura as it drifted toward her. The alien vessel closed the distance in mere seconds, hovering just meters beyond the station's external airlock. Voss struggled to remember the theoretical first contact protocols, her breath fogging the inside of her visor. Her hands shook uncontrollably as she keyed the manual override for the outer doors, committing to a profound leap of faith. A dull, resonant metallic thud reverberated violently through the station's decking. The bioluminescent probe had forcibly docked. Instantly, every proximity alarm in the sector blared to life, bathing the cramped corridor in harsh, flashing crimson light. The automated pressure equalizer whined loudly, struggling desperately to match the atmospheric anomaly introduced by the impossible vessel sealed against her ship. Sparks showered from the ceiling as the heavy airlock doors hissed open, revealing a swirling mist of energized particles. Voss drew her sidearm, floating backward in the zero-gravity environment. From the glowing fog, a towering, silhouetted figure emerged. Its form was fluid, encased in an iridescent membrane that rippled with cascading colors and crackling energy. The towering being raised a slender, shimmering appendage, and Voss slowly, instinctively lowered her weapon. Instead of launching an attack, the ethereal entity projected a sprawling, three-dimensional holographic star map directly into the airlock chamber. Entire galaxies flared in miniature, but whole constellations were slowly turning dark, consumed by a spreading cosmic blight. It was a dire warning. A profound wave of realization washed over her, accompanied by a sudden flood of foreign, deeply empathetic emotions projected directly into her mind. Humanity was no longer an isolated, lonely whisper in the dark. The universe was vast, teeming with ancient, benevolent life that actively sought allies against the coming twilight. They were safe from this magnificent envoy. With the message delivered, the alien figure retreated into the swirling mist, and the heavy airlock doors sealed shut. Outside the viewport, the sleek teardrop vessel detached silently from the hull. It plummeted gracefully back toward Europa, slipping beneath the frozen crust like a ghost, leaving only the pristine, undisturbed ice in its wake. Commander Voss floated back to her communication console, her hands perfectly steady now. The ambient hum of the station felt different. It was no longer a sound of isolation, but one of connection. She opened a direct, unencrypted channel to Earth Command, took a deep breath, and spoke the words that would change history forever. We are not alone.